I moved in with just 15k back.
I've always wanted to be financially independent. The African parents don't really see creating content as an actual job. They just think you're
I slept on the floor for like some weeks.
I was doing makeup for free, and then my friends got so angry. Imagine being able to afford things on your own.
Is this millions? Like, am I a millionaire and I don't know about it?
I could actually say that I was making a lot of money from selling makeup. I convinced my parents to get it.
I know that if I don't cook, I'm going to starve. Let me starve in peace.
Please shake a table. Sister, brother. It's a red flag. You know who you are sharing your problems to. Not be everybody get you for why.
Nobody has the manual for adulthood.
If God has said it, then why are you stressing?
I limit the amount of people, first of all, that come into my house.
You should be able to tell yourself you can't afford this at this particular time.
I had something to do on the island by 3 p.m. I left the house at 9 a.m. and got there by 5 p.m. Only friends motivate you. This is a motivation, right?
I'm Gulbe Wingwe, beauty influencer, content creator, and you're welcome to the second episode of Sip and Spill with my girl. Today's episode is going to feature a friend of mine who attended the same university as me and is also a fellow content creator. Although we live different realities, we both share similar beliefs on independence, and so today's topic is going to be centered around being independent in your 20s, leaving your parents' home or moving out of your parents' home in your early 20s to mid-20s, and all of that sorts. So without talking too much, let's welcome Muna.
Hi guys, my name is Muna. I'm a lifestyle and fashion content creator and a project manager.
As I already said at the beginning, we're going to be talking about being independent in your 20s, and we'll be talking to you guys while we create this look. So it's going to be like a chit chat. Get ready with me. So without talking too much, let's get right into this video. Of course, because it's another episode of Sip and Spill, before we spill, we have to sip. And today we have soda. Muna requested for soda, so we're drinking.
I'm taking half of mine.
We're drinking.
Okay.
Cheers.
Coca-Cola Company
Fails. So we're going to be starting with our makeup because Muna isn't the heavy makeup type. She keeps it simple, and you guys, she doesn't do too much. When she finishes her makeup, like what did you do?
You guys don't.
So I'm going to be like her today. I'm going to beat down everything that I normally do.
Yeah, that's the vibe actually.
Yeah, I'm going to beat it down and just basically like recreate what she would do. So what do you usually start with your makeup?
Actually, my makeup is just vibes. But
yeah, makeup is just vibes.
Something to moisturize.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good. So I'm actually going
always
to
moisturize. Please.
always moisturize.
Skin
I'm
around
teaching you well.
Yeah. You guys, please just decide to binge watch Colombian videos because you learn a lot.
You learn
Instagram, YouTube. You learn a lot. Trust me. My makeup game has become because of her videos. Yo.
When Muna told me that she said she watches my videos because they are relaxing.
They are really relaxing.
Thank you.
The makeup, the vlogs, everything.
Thank you so much. So you guys, after this video, make sure you go and watch one makeup video, okay? Yeah. So I'm starting with cleaning my face.
I didn't.
And because
I'm just. Let's just.
Muna is already moving. I don't want her to finish before me, so I'm moving straight to moisturizing. Muna, introduce yourself. Tell us a little about yourself.
A little about myself. My name is Muna Ikejiaku.
My name is
Muna Chidima. Please just stick with Muna, please. That Muna Chidima is so long. But the full name is Muna Chidima, but not that anyone asked it. But my name is Muna Ikejiaku. I am a content creator, just like our sister here. Yeah. I'm also a project manager at the side. Yeah. Am I supposed to tell them my age?
No. When did you start creating?
Okay, I started creating at damn.
It's been a long time.
Not that I wouldn't say a long time.
I met Muna. Do you remember that fashion show? Lagos
Street. It was in December.
Yeah, Lagos fashion show. I met her, and by then Muna had already established herself as a content creator, and that was. I was in year 2. We were not in year 2 then.
Yeah, we went to the same uni.
So I was in year 2, and I had already I don't remember how I met Mona. Do you remember her?
I can't really remember.
But I know
it was
that
through a friend or something.
Yeah, it was most likely through a friend. But then I saw her again on that time, and then of course we followed each other. And she had already established herself as a content creator. I really just looked at her as someone that really loved taking pictures, as someone that knew how to edit, and like she knew how to she knew the best locations, best positions, best poses, and she knew how to edit her pictures. So I was just like, this girl is so talented. But then I didn't think it was something that people actually take as like a form of job. Like, do you understand? But then fast forward to some years later, I'm like, Mona, she has been in this game. She has been in this content creation game.
I mean, when you say it like that, it makes it seem like I'm one.
No, she has actually been in this game for the longest.
I would say I started like making money from, or realized that I could make money from content creation in 2018/2019, and that was when a brand just reached out to me and they were like, oh, we're ready to pay you this and that. I didn't even argue, like I didn't even negotiate. I was like, wait, what? You pay me just to wear your stuff? It was a jewelry brand. It was, you pay me just to wear your stuff and take pictures. I already do that for free. Just that. So I didn't even, so that was when I was like, wow, that's mad.
I think that was also the year where people kind of started taking like the content creation business seriously.
Because other than that, it was just taking pictures.
A lot of people did not know that you could gain from creating content. So Mona, tell us your Instagram. Like, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on IG, on TikTok, on Twitter.
What's your handle?
Munar.
It's a lot.
It's not a lot. It's just weird to pronounce. It's really weird to pronounce.
So it's going to be there.
Munar.
Okay, guys. So I'm done with priming, moisturizing, and priming actually. And Mona and I went on to put on what? You didn't prime. You can prime now. Okay. So the next question I would like to ask Mona. When would you say you gained some form of independence, or you started, gaining independence?
Well, I started gaining some sort of independence in my second year in university. Okay, I wouldn't say it was fully, because obviously I still got like some sort of pocket money from my parents, from my mom and everything. And I used to work in a priest house or something like that. I don't know what it's called, but like as a chef.
Ooh, okay.
that was actually a very good way to make money then, and nobody really knew about it. It wasn't like a way like for people. It was just like it was just something I found out that at that point they needed someone, and I happened to be available. So I used to work as a chef. So we used to cook for like I think there were about 12 priests that lived in that house, and we cook for them, make their breakfast, lunch, dinner, desserts, appetizers, all that stuff. So and then I used to do that fully during the holidays, and I did that on weekends in school.
Wow.
So that was like the first
form of
real job that I actually had. I get paid every month. Everything. The other one, so I actually quit that job, that chef job, in that year too. And this story is getting I quit because I was the youngest there, and I found out that they were paying me less than every other person. So although I had at this point, this was my year 3, so I really had like social media management, from other, so I had like other
different sources.
Ways. So so I found out I was being paid less because I was the youngest, and
you ditched them.
I ditched them.
All right. So for me, I think for as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to be financially independent, because every time I wanted something, my parents always used to tell me, oh wait, we have to get this for your brothers first, because they just got me something. I can't just be demanding. It was literally a cycle. So if I'm the second born and we're 4 in our family, so if they just got for my older brother and I, and I want something, I can't get it until they're done like getting for my. Do you understand? And then the cycle continues. So it could be fair. So I got tired of waiting for my parents for the cycle to reach my turn, and I just always used to say from like the youngest age, I will never forget how much I wanted an iPod. I don't know if you guys, there was this iPod saga in primary school, iPod mini or something.
I was in primary school. I think when I was secondary.
It was primary school first for me. It started primary school. Wow. Yeah, I just wanted an iPod so bad, and my parents kept telling me they can't get it for me, but they have to get PSP for my brother. They have to get Nintendo for this one. They have to get this. I'm just PSP go for this one. I'm just like okay. And then that was when I just said, you know what? I'm going to make it in this life, and I'm going to be able to provide for myself. So I always actually craved financial independence, and even when I moved to secondary school, I would always save the pocket money my parents give me, because during the holidays maybe I want to get something for myself that I really liked. So after my first year of uni, during the break of first year of uni, I signed up for Oriflame. I don't know if you guys know. Did you do Oriflame? I did.
I did that in my first year actually.
I signed up.
Sorry, that was before my first year.
Really?
While I was waiting for jam.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I did the same thing like that. Bring this person.
And then like you sign people up. Affiliate marketing. Basically.
Yeah, I did it, but
I was making 2K per month. But it was something, and I was so proud of myself. My mom was actually so proud of me. She dropped me at my first appointment because she was just like,
wow. That was like Ikeja or something.
Yes, Ikeja. So I was making very small money, but like it's kind of it was a kickstart for me. I did stop after like a couple because I couldn't handle it. I mean, what did I know? And the 1K I was making was actually stressing me out. And then because I love makeup a lot, I've actually always loved makeup from like secondary school before I graduated from secondary school. So I used to do makeup a lot to school. In those days, so every time I wear makeup, someone will always ask me, oh, what foundation are you wearing, what concealer, what powder. They always actually ask me what foundation, what primer. I was in, I think year 2 or I was in year 2 then. And so I thought that instead of telling people, oh, I'm wearing this foundation, you can get it from this person, I could just tell them I sell the foundation. And so I started selling makeup. It was a very small like side business. It wasn't even anything serious. I hardly ever told people because I thought I couldn't really handle it. But then when I got to year 3, I met a friend, and he, encouraged me. He was also like a business mogul, also went to my university as well, but was like a year higher. He encouraged me to start the makeup business. I was going to be very good for me, get a website. And then I started saving, and then I got the website in 2018. And then started selling makeup like officially in school. It helped me a whole. Was like, I could actually say that I was making a lot of money from selling makeup. And then I used to do makeup for people, but I didn't enjoy, like, I never really enjoyed doing makeup for people.
Most beauty creators started like that.
I never really enjoyed doing makeup for people, but I just had to, because like you can't deny your friends, especially when you know how to do it and you guys want to go out. Your friends like, Olivia, please now, you just do it because you can, just because you can do it, and because you don't want to say no to your friend, not because you actually enjoy it. I was doing makeup for free, and then my friends got so angry. There was one time a friend of mine saw me doing makeup for free for someone, and she was like, Olivia, what is this? She snatched my phone, created, and it's like, open Instagram, said, I'm creating an account for you. Angela, she was like, you can't be doing makeup for free. And then the next time, my friend Phoebe as well, she wanted to do makeup for her birthday, and immediately I was done, I just told her to go. She was like, no, you can't be telling me to go, take the money.
Wow.
Literally, my friends. And then boom, and then I could say that I started making some form of money from that. So I have friends that motivate you. You guys, let me just say this. Let me shake a table. If you have friends that feel entitled to your craft or to your talent, for example, you have friends that know you're a makeup artist and expect you to not charge them your actual rates, or expect you to not charge them at all,
you're really shaking it too.
There's a red flag. No, there's actually a red flag. I feel like your friends should see that this is your job. And God bless me with amazing friends, because we were very young, but they still saw it. Do you understand? I feel like sometimes people need to understand, or you have to explain it to people before they get, which is okay. But my friends never let me like get to that stage where I had to be telling them, this is how I make money to save for myself, so you should be paying. For some people, they know early enough to not tell you, to not wait for you to tell them, right? But for others, they need explanation,
which is okay.
So it's actually fine to explain to them, but once consistently they keep saying, you shouldn't be charging me this. sister, brother. Because the last time I made a video, I kept saying sis and babe, and someone told me that guys watch my videos too. So sister, brother, it's a red flag. Once you're done explaining, like it gets to a stage where you don't want to even explain anymore. Because if you've explained so many times and the person doesn't want to get it, the person will never
times
get it.
are tough.
We're talking about being independent in your 20s. We didn't start well, I won't say that we started being independent fully independent. Of course, we're not fully independent. Even I currently am not fully independent. I know I'm in charge of like majority of in fact, I'm in charge of all my expenses when it has to do with like content creation. Like any device, any gadgets, I can't convince my parents to get it for me. So I have to do it myself. Do you understand? Especially when now the African parents don't really see creating content as an actual job. They just think you're playing. They're like, what are you doing? You're just talking to yourself or you're doing makeup. Do you understand? So it gets to a point where you have to prove to them that, see, I'm actually doing this myself. So yeah, even though I'm fully funding my whole content creation career, I'm still not totally independent because I still live in my parents' house, which brings us to the juicy topic. So you know how there's this, I feel like there's a pandemic, right? I have to drop my mirror. Let's talk. We
need to talk about this. Let's air it out.
I feel like there's a pandemic with moving out of your parents' house in your 20s. And I was there once when I finished uni. Before I finished uni, me and some of my friends were like, we don't want to go back home. We're going to get a place in. We're going to get one of these small apartments. And this is I was really thinking about it. But like, Corona came, of course, Corona came. I even stopped thinking I didn't stop thinking about it after Corona. I think I stopped thinking about it in 2021. I stayed in my house and I realized that nobody is chasing me. And I'm fully productive here. Like, so why was I ever thinking of like moving out of my parents' house? Do you understand? Like, I'm really productive here. No one is chasing me. I have some form of freedom. I'm responsible because my parents can see that, okay, this girl is responsible to an extent, and they're not the kind of people which, like, I know that parents are different. So my parents are not really the kind of people that would say, don't go anywhere, hey this, hey that. Do you understand? And also, I'm also a very steadfast person. If I tell you I want to do this, I'm not going back. So no matter what you say, I'll do it, but I will do it well. And at the end, when you see the results, even you will be like, and I'm talking about my parents, they'll be like, okay, let me relax. Do you understand? So it kept moving that way, and I think they kind of already like got comfortable with me like doing things on my own terms. Although I still have some form of restrictions, not really restrictions, but I'm still under them. So yes, I'm not living in my own house, so you know, I'm still answering to my parents regardless. So Muna, over to you.
Okay.
First of all, tell us whether you live with your parents or not.
I live with my parents. Of course, I don't live with my parents.
She doesn't.
So I've moved out of my parents' house.
Which is so, I feel like people that move out of their parents' house.
It was such a spontaneous decision. Like, it wasn't something, of course I've been thinking about moving out, but like I didn't think that it would be last year. So the decision to move out was just like a very spontaneous decision. It was around last year December that I just decided, you know what, I'm not going to let this get to the year, and I'm just going to move out. So like Olive said, at the end of the day, nobody's chasing you out. You would have to move out because you know that it's good for you, and it's good for you, it's good for your mental health, it's good for work, because we're in our 20s and we need to build ourselves, so we cannot just stay in a place where we are not growing. Do you understand? So normally, while I was at my parents' house, most of everything that had to do with work, every work related thing was always on the island, and my parents' house is on the mainland. Let's start there. So I finished school in 2019. And
me too.
Yeah, we finished school in 2019, and the pandemic hit in 2020. So during the pandemic, the Lagos State decided to lock the third mainland bridge. Yeah, and I mean there were like specific hours when they open it and they close it. So that was really affecting movement. We're starting there. That's not all, but like we're starting there. So the movement from the island to the main, first of all, it was already stressful. Without the pandemic, it was really stressful, it was really expensive. during the pandemic, when or mid-pandemic,
when we could move.
yeah, where we could actually move, they started locking the bridge. And I remember a specific scenario where I had something to do on the island by 3 p.m. I left the house at 9 a.m. and got there by 5 p.m.
Whoa.
And let's not even talk about how much I paid or how much I pay on a regular moving from the island, from the mainland to the island. That's just like another story on its own. So the convenience of, these are the reasons why I decided to move. Convenience of moving from the island to the mainland. We're not even talking about the fact that sometimes I would have to lodge in a hotel because I'm not the kind of person that likes staying in people's houses, or I always feel like I'm inconveniencing them, even when I'm not. Like I always feel like I'm inconveniencing people in their houses, which is a valid reason. And the movement from the island to the mainland was just not it. So December last year, I decided to just move out. I've been, looking for houses here and there. It's not like I was really
serious.
Prepared. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't serious. To be very honest, I didn't even really have a lot of money for that, to be honest. And I just celebrated my birthday the month before, so I spent money. I didn't even think that okay, I would have to move out at this time. So it was just like a very spontaneous decision that I took.
And look at where she is now. I went to her place how many months ago. I was like, whoa, Muna.
Well, it's not only about aesthetics.
I was like, no, it's not about aesthetics, but it's the fact that you were able to. Do you know what it takes? Parents.
When I moved out of my parents' house, that first month, child.
How many times did you cry?
Oh, child. What's funny is I didn't really cry like that, but
she.
But I remember I moved in with just 15k back. I slept on the floor for some weeks. Not like on the bare floor, on my mattress. I moved with just a fan and mattress, like
your clothes,
foam, and my clothes and things I had from my parents' house. Cause my mom wasn't really keen on me moving out because I'm a young girl in my 20s in Lagos, and the belief is you should actually move into your husband's house from your father's house. So that's the belief that my parents have, and obviously nobody doing that.
We can't
doing that. We cannot really
agree to it, please.
But I mean, if you believe in that, that's totally fine. But that's our personal beliefs that we don't. I feel like
we don't have to.
Yeah, I feel like you should get to know yourself. Moving out with your parents is not a bad thing. Staying with your parents in your 20s is not a bad thing
either.
It's just, it depends on your situation. I felt like moving out would help me work-wise. And I'm at the stage where I have to build myself financially. I'm in my 20s, so I have to build myself financially. And frankly, I just really love my privacy. Emphasis on love, my privacy.
So Muna has actually said it all, and I like the fact that we get to hear from another perspective, the perspective of someone who has actually stepped out and taken that, because I think it's a big risk. And yes, the moment you take it, it's either you fail or you don't fail. But I think most people don't fail because they can't go back. Like, they've already gotten here, so they actually can't go back. So they do everything they can to not go back to where they're coming from. So yeah, so I would ask, what are some of the struggles that you faced?
I honestly don't know what I'm doing with this. This powder,
what are some of the struggles that you faced with living in your living alone in your 20s?
First of all, let me start by saying you have to be a responsible person.
Disciplined.
You have to be disciplined to an extent, because it's really easy for you not to. It's really easy for you to just do anything you want to do,
especially if you don't have someone funding you. I mean,
you're funding yourself, so it's like, oh, I can do what I want. Which is fine, but at the same time, there are some things that will obviously be detrimental to you at the end of the day.
Yeah. So we've been talking for quite a few, so now it's time for us. Moving on.
Yeah.
I've already set my face. Muna, what have you done? Have you set your face?
I don't know. I just feel like a white powder.
Yeah, it's called setting.
No. I wouldn't say I set, because I didn't really leave it. I just blended.
Yeah, no, it's actually called setting. Leaving it is baking.
Alright, the
Yes,
makeup
sir.
artist has spoken.
So now I'm making sets, but now I'm actually lightly baking.
So what's next for you?
What's next for me? I'm going to contour bronze actually.
I don't contour. I use blush.
So
I don't have a bronzer or a contour.
Jesus Fenty Beauty blush.
So the next thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to moving out and being independent, being on your own, is the fact that I'm going to use what happened to me as a sample. I felt ill recently, and normally as opposed to last year, because that's the last time I felt ill. Last year I'm usually, I wouldn't say dependent, but like I don't necessarily, follow my, what's it called, dosage. My prescriptions when I'm given a drug or something for my sickness. So I had to, I had to gather the energy to first of all go to the pharmacy to get drugs, come back, had to make something for myself to eat, or I think I ordered something.
Imagine being sick and not taking care of yourself.
Like that's like one. I don't know if it's a bad part or a good thing. I don't know, but like
I think it just makes you more responsible.
It just makes you more responsible. That's my point. And nobody told me, because normally my mom would be there to just be like, oh, you haven't taken your it's time for you to take your second dosage, it's time for you to take your third dosage, but no one had to tell me, because I knew I had to be healthy to make money to go to work,
to pay your rent,
to pay my rent. No one will tell you that. So my point is that living alone you wouldn't need anyone to tell you about anything that has to do with making money. You just know.
Yeah, this strength just comes.
It just comes, bro,
from nowhere. If you feel like you were not as strong before, you just automatically become
give yourself the energy.
Yeah, when you're living alone, no one has to tell you, oh, wake up by this time. If you don't wake up, you're the one that's losing, because the time that you're wasting, you would have used it to make some money that you actually save for your rent, or for something, or for feeding and all of that.
That day, I think I had to shoot a content that a paid content. So I mean.
Yeah,
I was due. Dude, am I going to tell them I'm sorry I couldn't shoot it because
I'm living alone?
Because I'm living alone and sick. No, that's not how it is. And another thing about living alone is the fact that food is actually expensive.
You don't even have to tell me, because when I was in uni, like, you'd be like, but why you guys making food expensive? Like, who want us to eat?
This is not even. I think there's a difference between
There's definitely a difference. Because but I'm just using it as like it's the only thing I can use to compare. Do you get? Because that was the only form of like living alone.
Yeah.
I've experienced.
Sometimes I just think about how much I've spent in a week on food alone, and it's like, am I a millionaire? Is this millions? Like, am I a millionaire and I don't know about it? Like, I'm really, really confused.
Maybe you.
But I'm just saying, things in general, aside from food, like things in general are like really, really expensive.
Everything just
why are things so expensive?
Everything becomes expensive when you're living on your own.
Like, I don't even get it. But at the same time, there's a good part to living alone. It's not always negative.
I know there's a good part, like having your freedom.
Yeah, there are good parts. Not just a good part.
Aside from, so we've seen the struggles, or some of the struggles. Aside from, I want to ask you about the good part now. Aside from having your space, having your private space, not being distracted by family members or by these, or by having to run errands with.
And waking up when you want.
What are like the other good parts? Because if I'm spending too much money.
Okay, let me just start with the obvious. Your space. Having your space is everything. Like, I can't even stress that. There's a difference between having your room and staying in your room in your parents' house and actually having your
own space,
that you can actually do anything, because nobody's barging in. I can leave my room dirty whenever. I'm not saying my room is dirty all the time, but I can be a mess when I want to be a mess and be clean when I want to be clean. Which, I mean, obviously I'm cleaner. Please don't look at it. But my point is that no one is there to just
bang on your door.
No one is there to boss me around, to tell me, oh, you haven't cleaned your room, or you haven't done this, you haven't cooked. I know that if I don't cook, I'm going to starve. Let me starve in peace. Bruh, it's okay to starve sometimes. It's okay to fast.
I feel like because from last year, a couple of my close friends moved out either because of they had to go to school, and if you're going to school, you're going to live alone. Like of course in another country. I think the most thing that is like peculiar or important to them is just being able to pay rent. Even if they don't have food, they just want to be able to pay rent so they can have a roof over their head.
I feel like majority of the time, the thing I think about the most is rent. Like,
why is it like that though?
Because if you don't have rent, you're going to be homeless, bro.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Do you understand that difference? And there's no way I'm going back home, because let me tell you why. It's not even pride or anything. First of all, my mom was not really keen on me moving out. So it would be really embarrassing.
It's
really embarrassing if I say, hello mommy, I cannot pay rent, can I come back?
She'll obviously
let me. But you're gonna think, I'll be like, is this my life now? There's nothing more embarrassing than that.
Mona, do you think everybody has like the capacity to move out of their parents' home?
Do you mean like financial wise?
Of course, financial wise, not everybody has the capacity, but even like with discipline and with self-control and with like hard work, basically, like, do you think everybody can actually just say, oh, I'm going to move out, and then they wing it? I don't think so.
I don't think so, actually. I don't think people have the capacity to move.
You don't think everyone?
No, I don't think everyone has the capacity to move out, because some people still need to work on their self-control.
Yes, I feel like everybody may have it in them, but some people need to learn, like need longer time, like to learn. Another thing basically that I want to state as regards people who are living on their own is living above your means. I think when in our 20s need to cultivate the habit of saving. Save. It's so important. I mean, if you didn't learn it growing up, you can always learn it now. Like, or have accountability partners, or have like there's so many apps that help you save, like Piggyvest and all. I don't use those anyway. From a young age, I cultivated the habit of saving. But I feel like we in our 20s, we need to like, if you don't have savings, no matter how much you're making, you can have money coming in all the time, or your parents can even be there, but trust me, there are some times where you're like,
just even save you, bro.
Yes, imagine being able to afford things on your own, and you don't have to go and ask somebody, even if the money pains you, like if the money leaves your account, and even if you have just how much thanking your account, being able to afford that thing, like it gives you some form of joy.
That's
like
best.
Yeah, so
as opposed to borrowing, begging.
All right, guys, so we've gotten somewhere with our makeup. Mona is actually done. I'm almost done actually. I have to wear my lashes and do my lips, but before we end this, I just wanted to, or both of us wanted to give a couple of lessons that we've learned through our experience, because of course we're still going through the experiences of being independent, or basically just living in your 20s. So we just wanted to point out a few things that we've learned over the years. So Muna, what's the first thing that you would say that you've learned?
Okay, well, the first thing I would say is, as a young adult, I think being disciplined is very, very important. I'll use my perspective as moving out of my parents' house and living alone. I limit the amount of people, first of all, that come into my house. That's very important. It's funny.
Why do people do that?
But that's
but you know you guys like
asking me why people do that. Are you kidding me?
Why?
It's like it's a form of discipline. Like, you can't just let anybody in your house, and even it could be tempting.
But is it a you thing?
It's not, or well, I wouldn't say it's a me thing.
Because if it was me, I think it's a me thing, because I'm very protective of my...
I'm protective of my space, yes. I let specific people, my few of my friends, just come in, because it's not everyone you're supposed to let into your house. It's not everyone you're supposed to let into your space, your personal space. Yo, that's a whole lot.
It's scary, man.
It's scary because you really don't know who. So I only let in people that I trust. So that's also a form of discipline, and it could get tempting, because I mean, you're in your 20s, you can do anything. This is I'm diving into that whole relationship, having not a significant other, like
a partner, or do you mean like friends
that of the opposite sex? Just being disciplined in general. Take what you can take.
She obviously doesn't want to
Take what I can take from this conversation.
You know. Just like Mona said, I'm a full believer of being disciplined. I also feel like from discipline, you also need to have a form of, like, you have to have some form of self-control.
Yeah.
You need to be able to tell yourself, I can't do this. Even if you have the money, you should be able to tell yourself you can't afford this at this particular time.
Yes.
Regardless of what's happening around you, regardless of, oh, you're seeing this person just got a new this, a new that, I have the money to get this, so why am I not getting it? It's probably not the right time. You can definitely get it at some other time, but just be able to tell yourself, Olive, just chill, calm down. I also think honesty is a big deal for me. You should be able to tell yourself, please be brutally honest with yourself. I am brutally honest with myself. I don't know if it's because I'm a perfectionist or whatever, but I always tell myself the truth. I'll just be like, Olive, this thing you're doing, it's not really like, for example, 2 years ago I used to be obsessed with wigs. So every 2 months you see a new wig on my head. Last year I bought just 1 week. This year 1 week, maybe December I'll try to give myself a birthday gift. Sorry, I said birthday, a Christmas gift. I'm like, okay, but you've done well, you know. I mean, don't want for yourself. But the fact that I moved from getting a new wig every 2 to 3 months to getting 1 week in a year, it doesn't seem like a big thing, but it's a big thing, because this used to be one of the things that I had an issue with, and until I was able to cut that was I able to realize that, oh, I can actually save some form of money and do something better, because at the end of the day you get tired of the wigs.
I mean, okay, so another point that I want to point out is prayer. Oh Lord, if why are you doing that? So you don't have to be like a churchy, which as important as going to church is, I would say praying is more important. Like, you get to a point where, and I know this happens to everybody, you get to a point where you are confused, or you don't know what to do next, or you are just confused, because nobody has the manual for adulthood.
No one does.
Everyone is winging it, to be honest. And you actually need some sort of guidance from a higher power. You need to pray. Like, I can't even explain to you how praying has really helped. First of all, you're talking to God, like you're talking to somebody, like
Supreme Being, the creator of the
Supreme Being. And instead of confusion, like, you just get some sort of clarity. It doesn't have to be immediate.
Even peace.
Yes. Like the fact
peace.
that, okay, I've put this thing to God. I have actually talked to God about this thing. Now I can actually rest and know that He's in control. Just hand all the controls. All the controls to God.
Just give
hand everything to God, because you are going to, my dear. I know that people can relate to this, because you cannot tell me that you had everything figured out, or you are figuring everything out just like that. But you really need some sort of guidance from God. And that's
and a Bible verse that I always like to roll with is Jeremiah chapter 11. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11, and it says, I know the plans, or I know the thoughts that I have towards you, thoughts of good and not evil, to prosper you, to give you success and an expected end, a good future, basically. Thoughts to give you hope and an expected end. So I'm like, if God has said it, then why are you stressing? You know, don't be stubborn. God has already said it, so just give it all to Him. And I would also like to say, have accountability partners. So you need to have people that you talk to, people that you share your ideas, share your problems. You don't have to share every problem, because I saw something yesterday and person said the problem shared is casting yourself. Please know who you are sharing your problems to. Not be everybody get you for wine.
So some people just want to hear gist.
So guys, we're done with our makeup. I went for a really soft glam as always. I popped on some lashes, because I don't know how to do my makeup without lashes. Mona didn't, because
I don't know how to do my makeup with lashes.
She can't be bothered. But anyway, we just thought to end this by like just advising everybody, of course, people in their 20s, take it easy on yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. The 20s stage is basically the stage where you learn, you unlearn, you relearn, you fail, you succeed,
Yep.
you fail again, you succeed again, you start something, you fail at it, you start another thing. Like, it's basically the time where we take a lot of risks and we know
it's like, not straight.
It's not straight. It's a roller coaster, but this is what shapes like our late 20s.
Yeah, and don't forget to enjoy the experience. I'm also telling myself too. Like, don't forget to enjoy the experience.
Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up too much. You can beat yourself up, but like, don't let it get you to the stage where you get demotivated and you don't want to move forward again.
And it's okay to take breaks.
Take constant breaks. Always have people that you can talk to. You know, like, no matter how independent you want to be, you definitely need to have people around you. People that talk to you, people you talk to, people that you can go and visit, you know, stay, have drinks and just gist, have conversations, right? And take it easy. Take it easy, sis. Also, please, if you are living in your parents' house, I pray to not chase you away. My parents are not disturbing you.
Don't go run into expenses, don't go run into
even if you can be that kind of girl that if you leave, you can actually do it well for yourself. Just don't be pressured to leave your parents' house, because it's kind of like a pandemic now. People are like, even if you're doing well in your parents' house, it's an abomination to still be there in your early 20s, your mid 20s. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. And if you can afford the means to, or if you're in the right position to leave, you know, make that decision to move out of your parents' house. Also take it slow and steady. Kudos to you, like, do it. I'm all for, you know, getting a space or leaving a particular space to move to another space where you are more productive. So kudos to you, and I pray that God gives every one of us the strength to keep moving. We finally come to the end of this video. I'm Golive, your beautiful host, and this is
Muna.
Her social media details are going to be down there, so do well to follow her on Instagram.
I'm also starting my YouTube channel.
She's great. I already gingered her so
right.
See,
you need friends. You know what she said earlier? You need friends to motivate you. This is a motivation right here. So
I don't like to blow my trumpet.
This is a motivation right here. That's just all I gotta say. This is a motivation right here. So I'm starting my YouTube channel. So
obviously I'm going to let you know, and whenever she starts the YouTube channel, it's going to be in the description box if she hasn't started already by the time I post this video. So just expect it to be a description box. But before then, head over to her Instagram, follow her now, get familiar with my baby girl Muna, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye.